Hey there, I'm digital anchor Brandi Smith. We're getting ready for KHOU 11 News at noon, but in the meantime, we wanted to keep you updated on what was Hurricane Nicholas making its way onshore yesterday, now pushing through. First things first, let's get straight to meteorologist Tim Pandajis for an update of where things stand now.
All right, Brandi, good morning to you. We're watching here still the remnants of Tropical Storm Nicholas. The storm itself still located right over downtown Houston, so you'd think to yourself, some of the worst conditions are probably right around the corner. Not the case here. This storm is significantly sheared, meaning all of the convection, all the wind, all the rain, most of it at least, is pushed off, dislocated from the center well off to the east, and most of it's now ending up in Louisiana, where they're looking at a significant flash flooding event coming up their way. Here's the latest update, 10 a.m., and that plots it right over Brookside Village, the center of Nicholas. If you were out there, you wouldn't really know the difference. Winds maybe are a little bit calmer than what you'd find around, and we're seeing a little bit of some wind gust activity around it, but it is nowhere close to being as strong as it was when it moved on through earlier. It made it up to a Category 1 hurricane. Here's a look if we go back 12 hours with some wind gusts plotted on it, and Pearland got up to a 60-mile-an-hour gust. Galveston, we saw well over 60. Sugarland, 55, 60-mile-an-hour gusts, too. And a lot of those heaviest wind gusts were in the heaviest rain bands, too. That helped to force the heavy rain, force the gusts down to the surface there. But since, they've really improved. There's another look at how it looks on satellite imagery. And a better picture here is on infrared satellite. And this shows the picture pretty much of how sheared it is, because you see all the convection of where the system is located here over Houston, but well to the east. All of the convection significantly displaced from the actual center there. Recent radar loop shows a few lingering showers. In fact, right out here in downtown Houston, we do have a few sprinkles lingering. Nothing significant. This is not going to enhance any flooding issues we saw. It's very, very light. Winds overall, too, sustained 10 to 20 miles an hour. Certainly breezy, and some higher gusts are still in there. 31 at Beaumont, 32 miles an hour at Tomball, and 28 out in Conroe, about a half of as strong as they were earlier. Now, the 7-day forecast do show improving conditions, not only today, but through the rest of the week. Temperatures staying in the upper 80s, close to average for the middle of September. And then we enter a period where we just see an average risk for isolated showers and storms each afternoon as humidity returns to the area as well. Brandi?
All right, Tim, thank you so much. We are using new technology here to be able to bring you a little break while we're on air here on digital. So I want to show you first our TransStar cameras and what we're looking at traffic-wise. There are about 10 high water locations listed on TransStar's website, but looking at this feed here, no real issues. We're really seeing conditions improve a whole lot. Let me show you some of the images that came in overnight. Now, most of us woke up to kind of scenes like this, right? Debris in your yard, maybe some tree and limbs down. I know in my neighborhood, the boyfriend just checked on the house, and all of our fences came down. They were older fences. I think they were about 15 years old. The ivy that had held them up died in the winter storm, and we knew it was only a matter of time before something like this came and knocked them over. So no more fences. We'll have new ones here shortly, I hope. So a lot of us waking up to scenes like this. This is another image that was sent in to us on using ZipWeb. This was texted into us from the Spring Branch area, some street signs down. Now, what we saw a whole lot of coming in are trees down on homes. This one was over in East Houston, up in the Copperfield subdivision, like Highway 6 and 290. This tree came down on the driveway. You can see it took down a light pole. A different angle I'm not able to show you right here shows that the doesn't look like the cars were damaged, but it was a really, really close call. This is in Van Vleck. Tree down, just ripped the roots right out of the ground and crashed down on that mobile home. Here's another tree leaning on a house at Ella and Pinemont. Now, the good news is I've touched base with everyone who texted these into us, and everyone's okay. Some of the issues they're dealing with now, though, are water in the house. If the tree had enough of an impact to smash through the roof, that's causing leakage, and that rain just went all night long. We also dealt with a lot of wind that resulted in scenes like this in Dickinson. The gentleman who sent this in said that that's actually his neighbor's yard and that his shed was fully relocated. Over in Clear Creek, Garrett Robinson tweeted this photo. That is not his dock, but someone's dock has floated over into his neighborhood. And then I want to show you this video that shows how high the water is in the Clear Creek area, what kind of flooding they're dealing with. So I know a lot of us we woke up to just that debris. Maybe our power was out. I know mine was. At one point we had about 500,000 people in the greater Houston area without power. But there are areas where it was hit a lot harder, a lot harder. If you have photos or videos that you took of the storm's impact or as it was rolling through, you can text us at 713-526-1111. I also really want to encourage folks to use the Near Me feature. Hold on, I'm trying to get myself back on camera here. Hi there. So we have a Near Me feature on the KHOU 11 app. If you've downloaded the app, you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can upload photos, you can upload videos, and if you have certain settings on, you can even, when you take a photo and you go to share it right out of the camera app on your phone, at least on iPhone. Android users, I'm sorry, I'm an iPhone user and I don't know exactly how yours work, but you can share it to the Near Me or to the app, and it opens up the Near Me feature. Super easy, and that way we can use those images on social media, on our website. We can show them on KHOU on air as well. That's what I'm going to be doing coming up at noon, showing some of those images and still more that we've gotten in. That is just a snippet. We've seen, high water in Jamaica Beach, flooding in Galveston, incredible winds that ripped apart a Sonic in Galveston from our own Michelle Choi. She's down there surveying the damage. Across the street on Westheimer, across the street from our studios, the winds ripped down an awning at one of the Mr. Car Washes over here. Pretty easy to do. We see that quite a bit when we have a wind event or a severe weather event, but just examples of that everywhere. And I know some of you are so lucky. You are waking up without damage. Maybe you even kept power all night. And so it's easy to kind of brush this off. And I saw a little bit of that on social media. But just a reminder that there are hundreds of thousands of people who have been affected by this storm in our area. And so you are really lucky if you didn't get affected. But just know that there are plenty of people who are going to be working to get those trees off of houses, working to right and clear out the sheds that have rolled into their neighbors' yards. Melissa Correa, one of our reporters who's out in the field, saw a rogue trampoline where it was not supposed to be. So something to keep in mind for sure. I'm going to pull up our weather camera just a sec so you can see what the track of Nicholas is now. As meteorologist Tim Pandajis stressed earlier, conditions are going to improve and we are watching it shift off. I mean, if you look at where all of that rain is now, we're in the clear after a pretty rough night. I'm going to pop onto Facebook here and see if we have any comments. Angel asks, when will light be restored? Jeremy Rogalski, one of our KHOU Investigates reporters, is monitoring Centerpoint outages, and I can't remember the provider for most of Brazoria County. More than 70% of Brazoria County and most of Matagorda County are without power right now. And there's not a real timeline, but Centerpoint says it has crews on the ground and is working to restore power as quickly as possible. We'll keep you updated on KHOU.com if you want to pop on there. You can always, if you have Centerpoint, check its outage tracker as well. Sometimes It will share when it thinks power will be restored, but that's not always the case, especially when power is out to this many people. Angel also says no lights over by Willowbrook and Veterans Memorial. Yeah, when I was driving in, and I didn't have to go far, I stayed at a hotel here near the station just to ensure that I would be able to get into work, but none of the lights in the Galleria area. We're just west of the Galleria here on Westheimer and Chimney Rock. None of the traffic signals were working. Vicky Cruz says no power 45 South and Wayside. No lights in 77045, according to Edie. Danielle says lights on, no flood damage, but I don't want to risk a flat tire with all the debris in the street. That is so smart. You never know. You know, the water rose and then receded in a lot of areas. That's what our city is built to do. And you never quite know what is left once the water comes back down. No lights in 77014 or 77479. 77506. Johnny asks how it is in spring. I mean, it's drying out. The best possible outcome is that this thing moved along after, remember, strengthening to a Category 1 hurricane just before it made landfall last night. And it was kind of just inching along the coast. And now it's sort of right on top of us, but most of the rain is up to the northeast. Patty says all good in 77073. Happy to hear that. Greer asks if there's power in a certain zip code. It's hard for me to say, really. I would go to the power provider's website, like CenterPoint's outage tracker, and that will generally tell you if there's an outage in that area. Bonnie and Ashley passing along prayers. A reminder to think of others right now. Still power in 77504 and 77547. Oh, Anne says she just got power restored at 10:30 this morning. That's wonderful news. So that definitely shows that progress is being made. Yeah, Eric says, at my house, a pool chair fell over. And, you know, I got a couple photos of that, of yard debris or patio furniture kind of scattered about the yard, scattered tree branches down. I get it, like, that is amazing that your neighborhood wasn't impacted like so many others were, especially those closer to the coast. Someone's watching from Corpus Christi. I know you guys got it pretty good yesterday morning. How was everything there? James says Xfinity out in his neighborhood, no internet, no cable. Patty says, thank God it's not hot outside for the people without lights. Yeah, the temperatures are definitely cool. Tamika says, power's out in Cyprus, food's gonna go bad. This won't help you now, but one of the tips I learned this summer was at the beginning of hurricane season when we were doing all our preparation stories, was to freeze water bottles ahead of time and put them in the fridge, and they kind of act as ice packs, and then as they thaw and melt, you can drink them. So you have that fresh water, and you have a means of keeping your fridge cool for a while. I mean, the good news is that unless you're opening your fridge frequently, it should last a good amount of hours, even if it doesn't have power. Just try to keep it closed as much as you can. I have a couple people asking about Baytown. I haven't seen any particular images coming in. The last thing that I remember was from yesterday morning and just the bad driving conditions there, but I haven't seen any photos or anything come in specifically from Baytown. So if you have them, if you're sharing them on social media, tag KHOU 11, or if you have photos, you can text them. Let me pull up this graphic for you again. I will say this is just a great number to program in your phone as KHOU. You can text keywords, like you can text the keyword weather and you'll get forecast updates, radar, stuff like that. You can text traffic for current traffic conditions. We have all different sorts of keywords that this lets us send you, but it's also a way for you to reach out to us. So if you have a tip, if you have, you know, a birthday, we do celebrates and stuff like that, or an anniversary, you can send that information to this number. And then also when there's severe weather. But I really want to encourage you to use the Near Me feature on the KHOU 11 app. That is the easiest I've found and the highest quality, especially for videos. When you text us the videos, I don't know, the software, the quality isn't as good, so we're often not able to use it. But if you use the Near Me feature, or just tag us on social media, that's a really easy way for us to grab it. Sorry, scrolling on through here. A lot of folks reporting if they have power or don't. We do have an article, let me find it and share it in the comments about, you know, kind of managing without power. So many of us have been through this before though, but I know people are moving to Houston every single day. So there may be folks who just don't have that experience. I know we have this story. Oh, here we go. Found it. I'm going to throw this in the comments. It may not be at the top because I'm sharing on the KHOU feed, but if you see my post in there, that's what that link is. It's interesting. It's like kind of half and half. A lot of folks saying they have power and a lot of folks saying they don't. Lights on in the Woodlands and Conroe. I will say, I know Entergy was hit really hard when Ida swooped into Louisiana, but during the winter storm, I was stationed up in the Woodlands and the power provider is Entergy. So even though some of the conditions were worse, we had, you know, more snow, colder temperatures, more of a wind chill, the coldest temperatures of my life that I've ever experienced. It was -1 wind chill in the Woodlands during the winter storm. I grew up in Oregon, and the coldest temperature I've ever experienced is here in Texas. But I was always able to go back to a hotel with, you know, heat and hot water, and that's not something a lot of my colleagues who were down here closer to Houston could say. And they rolled through some pretty rough, I would call it rough conditions, as so many of you did. Marsha's asking, will Baytown flood? Here's another article I'm going to share with you guys. So Harris County put together this flood watch, flood warning system. Great tool. You can sign up, plug in your address, and you can sign up for certain gauge alerts. So if one of the bayous near your house goes over its banks, anything like that, you'll get an alert. You can get a text, I think text, email, call. But the flood warning system, let me pull, I'm just going to pull it up over here. I can't do it on here. The technology isn't perfect there. But looking at channel status, so there is flooding. It says flooding, like, well, there's flooding. Clear Creek near I-45, and flooding likely just along Clear Creek, Chigger Creek, what's up here, Armand Bayou, Shore Acres, at Taylor's Bayou at Shore Acres. So in the southernmost part of Harris County, that's where we're seeing a few spots where there could be flooding, where the bayou has broken its banks, or it's expected to. But otherwise, all of the channel statuses are good to go. So here, I'm going to share this as well in the comments here. It is an amazing resource. So, you know, I live on along Buffalo Bayou on the east side, and I have alerts set for when the gauge hits a certain level. It's just nice to have that level of reassurance. Deanna says, can't get through to Center Point. I will say, I think at this point, they know where the outages are, and they're working to repair those possibly down lines, whatever is causing it. So I don't think you need to report it, just tracking it right now. Use the outage tracker. Hold on, I'll get you another link, because I know we've got it. Here we go. Throwing up another one. And this is how you can track the outages if you're in the center point coverage area. I think we have a link to the other provider, the one who covers most of Brazoria County as well. I'm going to have to wrap up here in a few minutes just to get ready for KHOU 11 News at noon. But I want to scroll through and see if there are any other questions I can answer. Wow, Jenny hasn't had power since 9 o'clock. She's in Clute. Tiki Island to Santa Fe, Texas. I think I've seen like Jamaica Beach down on the island has high water, but that's why the homes are all built on stilts. They're all raised. If you guys have photos or anything you can share, if you're in that area or if you want to respond to Brandi, please do. Jennifer says, thanks God for everything. It could have been worse. The person who messaged from Corpus says Corpus is back to normal, all at work. No power in Mont Belvieu. Yeah, so many questions about Baytown. I just don't, let me see if any of our traffic cameras are out that way. If it can show you what conditions are like. These cycle through unless there's an incident. So here pretty quickly so we've got to look at Katy, Southwest Freeway at the Spur, Gulf Freeway. Okay, well there's Gulf Freeway down up in your upper left right now. Conditions look good. Now, I don't know what it looks like on the side streets there, but that looks pretty darn good. All things considering, we got lucky, especially seeing it strengthen to a Cat 1 storm last night. I don't know about you guys, but that was unsettling. Okay, I am gonna hop off here because again, getting ready for KHOU 11 News at noon, but I'm going to leave this slate up for you. If you have, I will say primarily photos, text this number, but again, just a good number to program in your phone. If you have tips, anything you see in the community you think we should know about, this is what you should use. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you at noon. Stay safe, stay dry.